by Toyota. We start on a pole, then to King's Row, which is going to be a fascinating matchup. That's where Sombra really will get the support ultimates, which is going to go a long way in these fights. They'll initially start to contest the point, but Prophet will be there to fight Gregory. Luffy and Gaps already go down, and there's been very little shown in all of this round from the Shanghai Dragons. Luffy goes down with his Transcendence. The Dragons could have used that to at least get them in a position to contest. Forward and engaging on his own with that Winston pick. They look like they're in step now. It's going to be a Graviton surge from the Spitfire to hold the Dragons together. DM tries to go a responsive one himself, but Fury hits that one up happily. Sound barrier has to be used by the Dragons to allow them to break free of that engagement while not losing any players. But as Spitfire, they want a bit more. Gesture went for that Earth Shatter there, and Cobra and Gamsu are eaten up post-haste. He'll let his team try and fight for the time being, though. Prophet was just waiting in the alcove of the door, and oh, Gregory got de-suited already. That's not a good start for the Dragons. They need some damage mitigation. Without the Diva, they're down to half. They have to rely on the Reinhardt shield, but Gamsu forgot to put his up and gets shattered down. Oh dear, 94% of the Dragons might have let this map slip away from them entirely. They use a sound barrier to try and get away, but they can't return to the point. That'll be it. And the Dragons start much better with Gamsu at the helm on Reinhardt. And still, once they're forced off the point, they are not able to retake it. Almost telegraphed their intent to engage the Dallas Fuel, and Dallas will get vectored by it. You can see him there on the left side of your screen. No, he goes for a Transcendence before the Sombra drops in. Maybe it was his Spidey sense, perhaps he saw the Sombra go for it. But the Shanghai Dragons will try and disengage with that one. The Spitfire won't give them the chance. The Dragons actually use a sound barrier here, even though they're losing players in this fight, and they got EMP'd. That's a curious decision.
And you want to use it to keep some of these players up. Maybe you're just trying to keep the charge on DM.
Oh, that's a big shadow though. Nasty one laid down by Gesture there. Most of the Dragons are out to pick themselves back up, and now the Spitfire go for the Transcendence as they want to keep pushing, and they get Gamsu, which is definitely going to keep the Dragons quiet for the next few moments. He's playing very clear. He's playing a very dangerous game. Oh, that's he gets hit by some stray fire and is revealed. Ding going down at the start of the fight. Gesture spots him out. It's a fire strike. Really singeing those perm tips. Now Luffy's going to come in with a Transcendence, but it's a Graviton surge thrown at him by the Spitfire. Both teams, they reach for the sound barrier, but it's the Dragons that come out on top. Prophet gets caught out. Guard again, can't do too much in that high ground except try and charge and get some damage set up before the fight starts. Oh, clever Gesture. Turns the shield around, blocks the shadow, gets one of his own young Gina DM knocked to the ground, but he still goes down. Gesture was on an island. He was on his own trying to push forward, but now Fury comes back in on that wrecking ball. Ocean giving a lot of healing, but so is Luffy. Ocean and Prophet are run down, ground into dust. Guard just has to abscond quickly, just getting out of there, and an EMP to make sure Fury can't turn into a ball out escape. What a staunch defense from the Dragons, and that's map 2 for Shanghai.
Shanghai use their ultimates perfectly there.
And then Toronto Esports as well.
And he'll come in and play the Diva role here.
The thinking is behind that. Let's see, Fury's going to be looking for Luffy in this fight, but more importantly, Gesture maintaining some presence on the point. Oh, Guardian took a lot of damage. He's going to go for the self-destruct to refresh his mech, try and climb back into it. There was no combo there from Gesture, or there was no one knocking Gamsu out of the way, so that self-destruct from both sides didn't really have any effect. Bit of a reset in a sense, but now the Dragons are sort of being bundled up together. Now this is the way they like to play, but they're not on the point. And Gamsu going down after Luffy, who again was the first casualty in this fight, again means it's curtains for the Dragons.
But this is the same thing that hurt the Dragons against the Dallas Fuel the other day. Different map, different game type, but on Hollywood they kept approaching the cart and the objective in the same way. Dallas realized it stopped them, and the Dragons, every push, they would go to the high ground, and it would result in the same exact thing.
Stuff, but very limited. Look, he doesn't have much range. He's trying to lob those right-click, those balls of charged particles. Now he needs to start fighting, but he might get taken down pretty quickly. That just hurts so bad. Fury eats up his grab. The only chance DM had to redeem his team goes straight down the gurgler. And the London Spitfire take map number 3 away. Real quick.
Dominance there from London. They don't have anybody die on the news more in the future, and towards the end here of stage 1, try and incorporate him in.
Now, that's right. So it's got to be after, but you still needed to connect with all 6 players to really, feel his impact, and not getting in on your tanks. That feels bad.
The card's moving.
Yep, slowly, surely. There is a back cap underway right now. The Dragons are getting this one on. The Spitfire have no idea. They're not even looking at the top of their screens. Ding's got to get there. Oh no! The London Spitfire. Oh god, yeah.
And I'm trying to just whisper it, right? Like, get everybody here going. Port ultimates here.
I want stats for longest backhand. I want to see who gets that one. All right, so Taylor 2 grabs. Both teams use them here. It's like stars orbiting one another. And Ocean is actually the only casualty so far. Look at that clapback on the Earth Shatter from Gamsu. That one really is going to leave a mark on the Spitfire now. The guard can't get out. Didn't have a translocator available. Nuss also gets hacked. Oh, the payload gets home. Oh, I mean, the Spitfire get a reprieve. They've got to make something happen with this now. Self-destructing over the top. Not already any follow-up here. Nuss, in fact, getting pinned by Gamsu. Remember, like we saw in the video earlier, if you're Ryan, choose a short charge length congestion. What are you doing, mate? Not a whole lot. You go around the long way. It'll take far too long to do that. So he has to play on his own. Gamsu's identified this. Suggestion gets hacked! Oh dear! The Spitfire now, it's a full-scale rout. The Dragons snapping at their heels, and no one's really able to get to the payload except for Nuss. He gets hacked, so he's really not going to be able to do too much about the onslaught that Ding and Co bring. Prophet is reasonably charged up on the high ground. He goes for a desperate grab, but he's at 1 health, and then he gets cut down. That's overtime. That is an utter disgrace to the Spitfire. But conversely, the Shanghai Dragons show us one of the most impressive defensive holds to date. Very nice.
Yeah, maybe you see a little bit of less of the traditional team fighting, as Ilios will be the pad.
The Dragons still don't have control of the point.
It's that one scrappy fight where London just stays on the point and takes it back that's made the difference here.
Oh, that was so nasty! That was the setup from DM, of course. He did give his team infra sight so we could see through walls. He knew when Prophet was going to peek around the corner. Gesture obviously was a pillar in that fight. They still have the point. 2%, the Dragons have to get back in touch. Gregory does get there for a brief moment. Triggers overtime. Over the top of the fight is Ding and Coma. Trying to get that damage down, but Guard just drops a pulse bomb and then recalls. The whole of the Spitfire is so healthy right now. Gregory gets demeched and Coma's out. Now the Dragons are running out of options in a huge way. London have always had problems with map 5s in the past, but this one's looking pretty good. Guard taken down by a mini diva. Gregory just goes full beast mode there and gets rid of the Tracer. And now the Dragons are coming back into the point. This is absolutely nutty. Prophet
to be used by Guard in return. So everybody can see where everybody's at here on the map.
Oh, Nuss! Well, we went for the Valkyrie, got taken down by Ding, and then Gesture falls. It's a 2-for-2 trade, though, and 2 damage to take it down. Prophet the double bomb on 2 supports. There's a heck of a lot going on right now. No, not used to seeing so many damage dealers, but that's what the games look like. The end result is that the Spitfire maintain control here, but Fury needs to stay alive in the middle of the map. The Dragons are moving to the point. This is where it gets a little bit scary for the London Spitfire. They're still trying to regroup right now, and the Dragons have full numbers. DM's getting pressured down by Gesture. He's able to get away, though, or is he? No! Gesture chases him down with the Primal Rage. Now he's trying to get sky high. He doesn't quite find the furrow, though. A guard falls in the meantime. The Spitfire don't quite have the point back yet. The Dragons are still in control, and now a Transcendence to keep them going through. Self-destruct, doesn't fight too much on the outside there. Gregory hoping for more, doesn't get it. Double Bionic Grenade later on the Shanghai Dragons. A Gesture sitting on the point with a Discord Orb. He is very vulnerable right now, and Coma's safely healing off of that right-hand side. The Dragons got everything they need, and getting on this point here, that's the main thing. They start to capture here. The Spitfire don't want to give this one away. They want to be accruing capture percentage this whole fight, but they do lose it. The Dragons now in the driver's seat. Gamsu goes down, though. Spitfire in numbers with the Graviton Surge laid down. Gregory and DM are going to be struggling here, and the Spitfire let the Dragons have a taste of glory. Really helped them out. Transcendence is there for Luffy, who is so low currently. Gamsu gets stunned up, but he didn't have his Earth Shatter interrupted and hence taken away. He's forced to step back. Here's the Graviton Surge now for the Spitfire. What can they do with a Gesture knocked to the ground? Self-destruct, no combo there. Gamsu takes guard. That's what the Dragons were looking for here. Gesture going down now, and it's just Luffy left on the point. At the 11th hour, the Dragons Senate staves off all the damage the Spitfire try and send into that mass. Gamsu gets discorded, but the sound barrier is going to make him nice and durable, and now it's going to be a Transcendence here as the Spitfire try and push back, but Nuss is charged, pinned up against the wall. The Transcendence from Bedosian, it isn't enough to keep him alive. Both brigades are traded out here, 85% on the clock for the Shanghai Dragons, and the Spitfire are in disarray.
And with the way this fight's going, with players still lingering around here for London, this very well may be the last fight. There's a big grab there that comes in from DM. You just have Nuss being able to get on the point.
Already a couple players and just the one left. Nuss was the last chance for the Spitfire. There's no way they're getting to this point. A celebratory Earth Shatter from Gamsu. And in map 5, the Dragons take it.